Okay, so cos of 50 is equal to the adjacent, which is what we don't know, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 5.2. So just like we did when we were doing the tan stuff, I need to be able to get x alone. In order to get x alone, I have to do the opposite of dividing by 5.2, which is, Elijah, timesing by 5.2. So I'm going to multiply by 5.2. Multiplying by 5.2 gets rid of that 5.2. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I have to multiply that side by 5.2. So I've isolated x over here. On your calculators, you're going to do 5.2 times the cosine of 50. So make sure you're hitting the right trig button. 5.2 times cos 50. Tiana, you know you have to do 50 cos. Okay, you're always backwards. And we're going to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. So you should get 3.3 centimeters. Did you get that, Drew?
Yeah.
Perfect. Joni, you good? Perfect. Okay, try this one on your own. You're looking for the length of PQ to the nearest tenth. So you want to know this side. Okay, put an X there or something so that you know what side you're looking at. It's not a bad idea to, okay, I'm given that angle. So from that angle, I'm looking for that side, and I know that side. You always have to go with the one that you know and the one that you're looking for. And then label those sides. What are they? Are they opposite? Are they hypotenuse? Are they adjacent? Ava, 10.4 is what?
The
Hypotenuse. And the one that we're looking for is opposite. And what trig function is opposite and hypotenuse? Sine. So the sine of our angle measure is opposite over hypotenuse. And then you fill in what you know. We know 67. We don't know opposite. We know hypotenuse. Okay? What are we going to do, Ava?
multiply everything by 10.4.
Perfect. Multiply both sides by 10.4. And our answer is 9.6 centimeters. Everybody agree? Okay, seems simple enough, yeah? Okay, let's look at one where we don't know the bottom number. Just reviewing this. So determine the length of DE to the nearest tenth of a centimeter. DE is right here. That's what we're looking for. We're given this 55-degree angle, and we're given that side. What relationship does that side have? Tyra? From this angle, what 6.8 is the opposite? And we're looking for, Tyra? The hypotenuse. Okay? Once you've figured that out, once you know what side relationships you're dealing with, you figure out what trig function you have to use. Opposite and hypotenuse is 6. So, sine of our angle is opposite over hypotenuse. Our angle is 55. Opposite is 6.8. And this time, it's the hypotenuse we don't know. Okay? We've done this before. We did this in the tan section. So regardless of what's over here, we always want to get rid of that fraction. Okay, Drew? So this is new to you. So we're dividing by x. We want that x to go away. So we're going to multiply by x. They cancel each other out. but what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So I also multiply by x over there. Now what I have when I do that is x times sine 55. And over here now, all I have is 6.8. Now to get x alone here, to isolate x now on the left-hand side, these two things are being multiplied. So we're going to divide by sine 55. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I ran out of room, but that isolated x over here, now x is alone, and x is equal to whatever this becomes. So on your calculator, it's 6.8 divided by sine 55. To the nearest tenth, you should get 8.3 centimeters. Yeah? Okay, do this one down here on your own. Determine the length of JK. This one happened to be the exact same trig function because we were given the opposite and we were looking for the hypotenuse. So it's still sine. Tiana, what'd you get for an answer?
8.5.
8.4, perfect. Everybody good there? Okay, let's look at a word problem. A surveyor made the measurements shown in the diagram. How could the surveyor determine the distance from the transit to the survey pole to the nearest hundredth of a meter? So from the transit, which is right here, to the survey pole, which is right there, he's looking for that distance. To the nearest hundredth of a meter, pay attention to that. We're given this angle right here, and that side, and we're looking for that side. What trig function are we going to use here? Cos. Who said cos? Ava? We know adjacent. This is the adjacent side. This is the hypotenuse. Okay? Lots of people find the hypotenuse the easiest to label and then the opposite the easiest to label. So adjacent is the other one. Okay? Process of elimination you can use. So we're using cos because cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. Our angle measure is a little more specific here, 67.3. Our adjacent side is 20.86, and we're looking for our hypotenuse. So the process to find the number is exactly the same as the last question. We're just using a different button now, okay? So I multiply both sides by x. Those go away. I end up with x times cos 67.3, and that gives me 20.86. And I divide by cos 67.3, which gets rid of that one. So 20.86 0.86 divided by cos 67.3. We're going to the nearest hundredth this time, which is 2 decimal places, not just one. So you're going to get 54.05 meters. Okay, so you can see why a surveyor would use this method, right? That's 168 feet. They're not going to walk out or pace out 168 feet. They have to rely on some trigonometry to do that. Okay, this very last question is exactly the same, okay? We're looking for this distance, which is a hypotenuse, and you're given the adjacent, so again, it's going to be cos, okay? You can go ahead and figure out that answer there. What'd you get for an answer, Elijah?
42.2 kilometers.
42.2. There we go. Okay, everybody good with that? Alrighty, so I'll give you your assignment for this.